What's up, everybody? It's DJax here from Alpha Cybersecurity, and we're back with another video taking on TryHackMe Advent of Cyber. Today is the day 7 event. Looks like the video was done by none other than Tiberius, so shout out to him for doing the walkthrough. But you guys know the routine by now. We're not trying to look at the walkthroughs, we want to try to do it ourselves. So we're just gonna hop right into the story. But before we do, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications so you can be notified when I upload videos like this or when I post my other videos or my podcast, InfoSec Unplugged, which is live every Thursday. And also leave a comment below. That helps the YouTube algorithm to kind of boost it up and hopefully help get more cybersecurity content out there. So with that being said, let's get right into the story. The development team that handles the GIF requests from children migrated over to a new technology stack. In doing so, they left their application vulnerable, and Grinch Enterprises now controls access to the system. Unfortunately, Grinch Enterprises forgot to patch the system, so you can use the same vulnerability to retrieve the GIF requests for the students. So we're just going to go ahead and start the machine. Hopefully it'll work. So it's going to take a couple minutes. So in the meantime, we'll just look over the learning objectives and we'll quickly glance through what is NoSQL and NoSQL injection. So the learning objectives is what is NoSQL, understanding the NoSQL database, understanding why NoSQL happens, understanding what NoSQL injection is, and using NoSQL injection to bypass a login form. So what is NoSQL? NoSQL database refers to a non-technical database that is non-relational database. That is short for non-SQL and not only SQL. It is a data storing and data receiving system. NoSQL databases are commonly used nowadays for big data and IoT devices due to their powerful features such as fast queries, ease of use to developers, scale easily, and flexible data structure. So to understand it, various types of NoSQL databases can be covered, including MongoDB, Couchbase, RavenDB. However, this task is focusing on MongoDB. So similar to relational databases such as MySQL or Microsoft SQL, MongoDB consists of databases, tables, and fields, but with different names, where collections are similar to tables or views in MySQL and Microsoft SQL, documents are similar to rows, and fields are similar to columns in MySQL and Microsoft SQL. The following graph shows a visual example. So this is just kind of showing you how the collection works for the MongoDB databases. So you see here's your users that goes into the collection, checks this database, and now you have your collection of users and your collection of roles. Here's a document. So that is a quick description of how that works, and also it's brief. Also, it's useful to briefly look and compare the query operators between MongoDB and MySQL. So and is equivalent to and, or is equivalent to or equals is equivalent to equals. So interacting with the MongoDB server. To follow up interacting MongoDB server, please deploy the attached machine and use the browse access. If you're not seeing the in-browser screen boot up, use the show split screen at the top right of this page. So we're just going to go ahead and open this up. Alright. I think I might have did that wrong. All right. So while we wait for our machine to boot up, let's just look at a couple of the collections and commands. So here they're going to connect to the MongoDB in the deployed target machine in the default port. So right here you see that it just use Mongo, connects to the MongoDB database. and then you can show your databases. So you show a command to list all databases. So it shows here, they hit show database. Then it says next, if we want to connect to a database, we do this by using the use command. However, we will also show how to create new databases with collections and data. To create a new database, we also use the use command to create and connect to it. Therefore, the use command is used to connect to a database if it exists, or create a new database if one doesn't exist. Once a database is created, we can create 2 new collections, use users and roles using the DB create collection. So it looks here that they created a users collection, and then they created another collection called roles. Then you can create a document within the users and insert data into it. So here they inserted, looks like a user ID. So ID1, username is admin, email, and then the password. And then here's the results. So there they successfully created 2 documents into users. Oh, they actually created, okay. They created a second user, same thing. So we successfully created 2 documents into users collection, and then showed the available documents within the collection using DB users find. Note that MongoDB automatically creates a unique ID called ID for each document within the collection from the above output. Let's also try to update the document as well as delete it using MongoDB commands. We will be using the DB collection update to function to update the document with ID2, and update the username to TryHackMe, and finally shows all the documents to make sure our document gets updated. So here they did DB users, they updated for user ID, and they set that username from user to TryHackMe. So now username is admin for username ID1, and for ID2 username is TryHackMe. Finally, let's remove the document using DB users remove, and then drop the collection as follows. So now they removed ID2, and now when they look for it, you see ID1, username admin, and then that's it. There is no longer a username ID2. Or yeah, ID2 TryHackMe? Yeah, TryHackMe. So what is NoSQL injection? Now that we have the basic knowledge of dealing with MongoDB commands to create databases and collections, as well as insert, update, and delete documents, we will be discussing the NoSQL injection and the risks of having such a vulnerability in the application. NoSQL injection is a web security vulnerability that allows the attacker to have control over the database. A NoSQL injection happens by sending queries via untrusted and unfiltered web application input, which leads to leaked or unauthorized information. In addition, the attacker can use NoSQL injection to perform various operations such as modifying data, escalating privileges, denial of services attacks, and others. Bypassing login pages. The logic of login pages is similar in most databases. First, connect to the database and then look for a certain username and password. If they exist in the collection in the database, then we have a valid entry. The following is the query that is used in the web applications used on our login page. DB users find query, or DB users find one query. Functions where the query is JSON that's sent via the application username admin, or password and admin pass. Note that when we provide the correct credentials, such a document returns, while a null reply is received on providing the wrong credentials. So here you see username, admin, password, admin, pass. That comes back with all the information, the object ID, the ID, and all of that. However, when they try to do a second one, if you look here, the password is incorrect, it comes back null. Okay, so before exploiting NoSQL injection, there are MongoDB operators that we need to be familiar with that are heavily used in injections, which are equal, not equal, greater than, JavaScript condition, exists, matches records that have a certain field, or regular expressions, so regex. Using the MongoDB website, you can find more information about MongoDB operators, and now we're going to exploit the logic of the login query by injecting a JSON object, which includes one of the NoSQL operators, such as not equal. So if you look here, it says DB users find one username is admin, password is not equal to XYZ. So by doing this, we're telling the database that you're looking for a username with the admin username, but the password is not equal to XYZ, which makes this statement true because the admin's password is not XYZ. As a result, you successfully retrieve the document in the MongoDB since the statement's logic is true. By applying this concept against a login page, we will be able to bypass the login page. Now, let's say if we wanted to log into a system as another user who's not admin. In this case, we will also inject the username field as follows. So now you see DB users find one username not equal to admin and password not equal to XYZ. So because it's not equal to admin and it's not equal to XYZ, that makes it true. Okay, and that's what that says right here. So now if you exploit it, to exploit NoSQL injection within the application, first you need to find an entry point that does not sanitize users' input. Next, you need to understand how the web application passes the request to the database. Once you find an entry point, passing queries could be varied. Sometimes the web app accepts the user's input via GET or POST queries, and sometimes the web application accepts a JSON, as the case with APIs. Injecting NoSQL queries have different forms. If we deal with GET or POST queries, then JSON objects, but still have the same concept. So if you use it with GET and POST, you would have to interact via MongoDB, and you inject an array into the MongoDB operator to match the JSON object of the key value pair. So here you see it goes HTTP, this is the whole website. So example, TryHackMe Lab search username equals admin and role is not equal to that of a user. Note that we inject the MongoDB operator not equal in the role parameter. We can also use the same concept to pass the MongoDB operators in the post. We built a playground web application to search for the user-specific role. To perform NoSQL, first you need to bypass the login page as we discussed in the previous section. Okay, so here is the same thing here. So here's username, Ben, and the role user. So that's the normal case. And then as a result, it returns with the expected result from MongoDB. Now let's inject MongoDB to show the unexpected results. So here's the username is not equal to Ben and the role is user. As a result, the web application will return many records from MongoDB that satisfy the query. And now it's time to get to the fun stuff. Okay, so for the first question, it says interact with the MongoDB server to find a flag. What is the flag? So this looks like we're probably going to have to interact, so we're going to scroll back up. Just so we know, I already started the target machine as well as the attack machine, so we don't need to do that and wait. So looks like we're going to have to start up our attack machine and then SSH into it and then bring up the MongoDB, and then we're going to have to look for the databases. So let's scroll back up real quick. Let's show our split view, and now let's roll back to our commands. All right, so now let's open up a command prompt, and then we're going to SSH into THM at what was the IP address? What was it? Here we go. It was right here the whole time. SSH at THM at 10.10.219.227, and that's going to be on port 2222. And then we're just going to hit yes, and then it should ask for a password, and the password is TryHackMe, and we're in. So now we're just going to hit Mongo, and then we want to show our databases, and I'll just move it over so you can see. It'll let me. There you go. So now the databases look like admin, config, flagDB, and local. So what we want to do now, once this stops moving because it's kind of slow, flag DB. Alright, so now we're switching to flag DB. And then what we want to do is we want to get the flag, we want to get the collection names in there. So what we're going to run is we're going to run this command db dot get collection names, and then make sure we had our little parentheses there. And you'll see that there's a collection named flag collection. So then we're going to say db dot flag col for collection, and then hit find, and then we're going to hit the parentheses again, and there's our flag right there. So our first flag is here, so let's copy it, let's move it over, let's copy and go back to our answer and paste, submit. We're good. All right, so now the next one is, let's clear this, close this out, and it says we discussed how to bypass login names as an admin. Can you log into the application that Grinch Enterprises controls as an admin and retrieve the flag? Use the knowledge given in AOC Day 4 to set up and run BurpSuite proxy to intercept the HTTP request for the login page, then modify the post parameter. Okay, so we can close this out, close this terminal. We're going to first go up here and make sure that burp is running in Foxy proxy, so that this way anything we do will proxy through BurpSuite. We're going to fire up BurpSuite. And then while we're waiting for BurpSuite to load up, I'm just going to get my box information. So we'll just paste that there, copy, and then we'll move it over. And then if you get anything that asks you to update burp or restart burp so it can run an update, just ignore it. You don't need to do that right now. But by default, burp should see right here where it says update is ready to install. You can just close that out. We don't need to do that. By default, the burp proxy should be on, the intercept should be on, so that's good. But we're going to turn it off real quick just so we can go back to our browser, because we want to go to our web address here, so 10.10.219.227. Wait for that to load up. And then it brings up a GIF request web app where it's asking you to search for a user request in our MongoDB. So we know the username is admin. And then for password, I don't know, let's just say, please subscribe. Doesn't really matter since we're gonna bypass it. So we're gonna go to burp. Now we're going to set burp's intercept on. Go back to our web browser. And then we're going to hit search. Burp should catch it, which it did. When we go over to burp, you see it says admin and password is please subscribe. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 brackets here. And then we're going to have a $sign and NE. So now what we're saying is the username is admin and the password is not equal to please subscribe. So that means that the statement is true because that's not the password. So we'll hit forward and then we'll just turn the intercept off. And then if we go back to our web browser, we should be logged in, which we are. Welcome admin. So let's scroll down here. Since we're logged in, and now let's get our flag. Our flag is right here. We'll hit copy, come over, Copy again, paste it over here, and there is our second flag. Okay, so now once you are logged in, use the gift search page to list all usernames that have guest roles. What is the flag? Okay, so let's close this out. Let's go back to our dashboard, and then we'll hit search, and it says that has the guest roles. Okay, so it says here that we need to find all usernames that have guest roles, and what is the flag? So we'll say, let's just say admin. Actually, let's make sure we are, let's capture it, let's intercept it in burp again. There we go. Burp. Turn the intercept on, go back to our browser. Okay, no, we went back to burp. Go back to our browser, hit search. Now burp caught it. And now you see it says username admin and role user. And we're looking for everything that has a guest role. So let's see what happens. So what we'll do is, I'm actually gonna use something that they didn't show before, but we're gonna send this to repeater, and then we're going to go ahead and turn intercept off. And go back to our web browser just to see what happens. Okay, so the username admin is not found. So actually, scrap that repeater idea. We're just gonna go back to our browser in BurpSuite, go to our HTTP history, and we're going to find that search. So here's the search. And what we'll do is, since we know the username admin does not exist, we'll add brackets here. No, I'm sorry. We actually gonna have to resend it in burp. So let's just do this. Let's go back to our browser. No, before we do that, let's go to intercept, turn our intercept on, go back to our browser, and now we're just going to send the request again. So we'll say, please subscribe. And see, again, I like to just make it in all caps, so that this way when it's caught in burp, if I need to send it to intruder, or I need to send it somewhere else, or if I need to look for it, I know exactly where it is. So what we'll do here is we'll do our brackets, and then we'll say, oh, actually no, it's not over here, it's actually before the equal sign. So we'll do our brackets, and then we'll say $NE. So the username is not equal to please subscribe, and the role is guest. And now let's forward that over, and we'll turn off intercept. Go back to our browser, and there's all our guest information. And if you look at the bottom, the username details, there's our flag. So we'll go here, we'll copy, bring it on over to our clipboard, copy it from here, and then we'll paste here. We'll hit submit. And now it says the final question is, use the gift search page to perform NoSQL injection and retrieve the McSkidy record. What is the details record? Okay, so we'll close this out. Use the gift search page to perform NoSQL injection and retrieve the McSkidy record. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and okay, so to look for the McSkidy record, I'm going to go back to BurpSuite. Let's turn on another intercept. Go back to our web browser, and then, no, that went back to BurpSuite. Go back to our web browser, and we're going to type in McSkidy, and we're going to hit search, bring it up in Burp. So now we know the username is McSkidy. So what if we change the role to brackets here, $, not equal to user. We forward it over, and then we turn the intercept off. And let's see what happens in our web browser. And there we go. This is our username details for McSkidy. So we copy, and paste, and just like that, we have completed day 7 of the Advent of Cyber. All right, again, if you guys have followed when I do any of the live streams, you'll know that we do that anytime we capture a flag or we complete a room. So since we did that, that was appropriate. So again, that was day 7. Once again, shout out to Tiberius for posting his walkthrough of the video. I'm gonna watch it in a little while and see if we followed the same steps as him. But yeah, we got the streak still going. Now 7 days in a row. Looks like I think I got a badge for doing 7 days. So, you know, let's get a quick applause for that. And then I'm looking forward to see what TryHackMe has for day 8. So again, if you guys like the video, please like it, leave a comment in the comment section below. Please subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications so you can be notified whenever I go live with any of these videos, or I post videos or upload other videos, or I do my InfoSec Unplugged show, which is every Thursday. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Take care.